Welcome back to another episode of BAD and DESI. We're hyped to have DJ DPAK on the BAD podcast, Australia's 2024 DMC Open DJ Champion and one of the hardest working DJs in the game. I personally know this. From radio residencies on the Edge 96.1 FM and Kiss FM to spinning for Ashanti, ASAP Ferg and Marlo, DPAK's built a career that blends raw skill with serious hustle. He's also represented India in rugby league, proving he's always been about rhythm, power and precision on the field and behind the decks. From club nights at Marquee and Chinese Laundry to game days with the NRL West Tigers, Wallabies, AFL GWS Giants and NBL Sydney Comets, DPAK's everywhere, the crowd's the loudest. And when he's not performing, he's teaching, coaching new DJs through Your Shot Australia and mentoring young creatives at Street University. Welcome, DPAK.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Okay, without us getting too deep too quickly, we're going to throw you into some rapid fire questions.
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready?
Hopefully, yeah, I should be.
Okay, first question. What's your go-to? Trust me, it'll go off track.
Oh my God. Can we skip that one? I need to think about that. Okay. Wait, we'll come back to that last.
We'll come back to the first question last. Yeah. Okay, you got some time to think.
Yeah.
Okay. Clearly, he didn't do the pre-reading. One song you secretly hate, but you always play it because the crowd loves it.
I wouldn't say I hate it, but it's like one of those songs that like a lot of like hip hop DJs play. "Be Faithful" by Fat Man Scoop.
Oh yeah.
I do love it, but it's just one of those songs that have been like rinsed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
every single time.
Yeah, but then when you play, people like
people love it, especially when everyone's drunk. They love every single song.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, what's one of the wildest or funniest things that's happened mid-set?
Mid-set, I have nearly had my like whole table like pushed over because a girl was like dancing on it. She didn't realize like the force would, but I was able to save it. That was pretty. The music did cut for a second, but we were able to like recover it on the spot.
Was this like at a club or like
at a club? Yeah,
festival?
No, at a club. Luckily,
okay.
Yeah.
Luckily. What is your dream collab?
Ooh, dream collab. I try not to like idolize too much, but I'm really into Leon Thomas's music at the moment, so it'd be cool to maybe, I don't know, do something there.
Love that.
Yeah. Pick
between the next three. You get one gig. A Mumbai block party, NYC rooftop, or Ibiza sunset?
I think a block party because it's something different, and also I think with like the trends these days, people are DJing in different spaces, not just kind of your
typical.
Yeah, like your normal licensed venue. It's like a little bit of outside the block thinking. So I think it's pretty cool. Something different as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. I didn't expect you to say that, to be honest, but I love you said that. Okay. If you were not a DJ, what would you be doing?
Probably something in like art or like something creative. I'm a pretty hands-on person. So I would say something along, or maybe like in health and fitness.
Okay.
Like either one of the two. Or maybe be connected in music. I feel like it all sort of works hand in hand.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Okay, you have been given the aux at a Brown wedding. What's the first song you play?
If I'm doing a Brown wedding and they want like Bollywood music, I always start with Sadi Gali. I don't know if I said it properly.
With Sadi Gali?
Yeah.
What a banger, honestly.
I love that
I would
song.
throw Sadi Gali in when the like crowd's like,
Yeah, it depends on the couple's request. Usually most people who book me, they want to start with like English music.
Okay.
So then I'll surprise them like maybe 3 or 5 songs in because they'll be like, oh, this guy's not going to play Indian music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like just because of the expectation of how I look, and then when I hit them with it, they're like, "Oh, this guy knows his shit."
Yeah.
So,
honestly, even like the first few times I saw you, I was like, "There's no way. There is no way this guy knows anything about Indian music." But here you are.
Yeah, no.
Here he is, BAD and DESI.
That's it.
Okay. Based on that question, finish this sentence. Being a brown DJ in Australia means
for me, it means more representation for the generation to come. That's something that's really important to me because I feel like apart from like my older brothers and cousins and like a few of their mates, there wasn't like too much in that space for me to look up to, or like maybe I just wasn't in those spaces. So I would say, just representation is a big one for sure.
Love that. Now going back to my first question. What's your go-to? Trust me, it'll go off track.
Murder, She Wrote. Yeah.
Wait, I don't even know that.
That's a old school dancehall track. That's more of a personal thing. Like I don't care. I'll play it because I like it. That's the direction I'm trying to sort of go towards anyway.
Gotcha.
Like just stuff that I kind of mess with.
Yeah, nice.
Because that was a tricky one. Like I still,
yeah. Okay, so welcome. We've just finished our rapid fire. Now we get to go a little bit more deeper in with you, DPAK. Tell us a little bit about your music journey. What first got you into it?
My older brother, he's a DJ and he started on vinyl mixing at like different events and clubs. So when things went digital, he was like, "Oh, you have to download music for me," because it was just I don't know, like time consuming.
What did you use to download music?
Just like LimeWire and all those types of websites back in the day. Maybe some of the people these days don't really know too much about.
Don't have a clue.
So I was like always downloading music for him, and like I'd always watch him practice as a kid. And I think subconsciously that may have had an effect on me, but I never really had any aspirations to be a DJ. I was like more to like playing guitar or like trying to sing, but I wasn't really good at that stuff. So yeah.
Love that. Okay, so your brother kind of paved the way.
100%, yeah. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be DJing. Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened? You started downloading music?
So I was downloading music and then I sort of got intrigued. I would like see him do a few things on the decks. So he was away from work, so I was trying my best. It took me like a month to like figure out how to connect the laptop with the mixer and the turntables and Serato and all that. And then I eventually figured it out and I'd secretly practice. And then he walked in on me one day and I was like, oh shit. And then he saw, but it was kind of cool because then he's like, oh, you're taking an interest. So he kind of showed me like a few of the early steps. And I still didn't really want to like do parties or gig out. It wasn't really in my personality at the time. It was still all like a lot, being in front of a crowd and like just kind of controlling the vibe.
Yeah.
Those were the kind of things that I was thinking about. And I was like, oh, I don't even know how to do this. But then he kind of like just pushed me. And he would like force me to gigs with him, like go to parties or whatever the case. And I'd kind of like just warm up for him. And then from that sort of gave me the confidence. And I did my first party and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is better than working at Subway.
Oh, you're working at Subway?
Yeah, that was like my first kind of, proper job. I suppose.
So how long has it been since you started?
DJing. Like, I think my first gig would have been like 2012. So or like 2011.
Over a decade. Well, like 14 years now.
Yeah, 13, 14 years.
Very experienced in the field, we could say. Now, you recently won the Australian DMC Championship.
That's right.
Can we understand, first of all, what is that?
How I like to describe it to people, it's kind of like the Olympics of DJing.
Okay.
For me, I hold it in like the highest regard. But it's mostly been known for more like scratching and doing like beat juggles and like heaps of like cool tricks, like more of a technical aspect. And then last year they came out with a new category, the DMC Open, which focuses more on mixing and just more like the party rocking vibe, but like still kind of staying true to the element of like technical ability. And I just sort of entered on a whim. Like I'm a part of Scratcher Sydney. They're just like a collective of dudes that, get together and push the culture forward. And they're like, oh, you should enter this, you're always DJing at the clubs and that type of thing. And I sort of brushed it off at first and then I looked into it. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll give it a crack. So like I just made the cutoff. And then, I topped the first heat, which is the qualifying heat. And then, I ended up winning in Melbourne last year. And then I defended this year, came second. Shout out to Beast Mode. He took out the world's first time ever for Australia to win a DMC title.
Wow.
So that was really big for me, and he's someone that I look up to as well. So I think, coming second to a world champion
That's
was
huge.
pretty cool.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Now, based on that and based on your experience and based on the competition itself,
Yeah.
what makes a good DJ?
What makes a good DJ?
Yeah, like
I
what
think
do you
there's a
rate?
lot of different elements that go into, like, sometimes people just think it's getting up there and pressing play. But it goes upon a few different things, but it also depends on what type of DJ you are, because you could be like a DJ that's already established with a certain sound. So you're going to, when people book you, you'll bring your sound. But I think from just kind of a general standpoint, just like learning to read the room, playing like appropriate music, but also educating the crowd and just learning to break new music that you enjoy. What else? I think it's important to learn the history. Like when I'm learning something new, I like to kind of know who paved the way, who the OGs are, how did it start, like what's the word that I'm looking for? Like I like to find out about the craft at its like purest form, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because obviously things develop with time and technology, but it's good. Yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd like that.
Tracing it back to the roots.
Yeah, and just like paying respect, where it's due. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that. So what's been maybe the most unexpected lesson from your 15-year career now? We've just realized.
Most unexpected lesson. I think there was like a certain point, like after I'd sort of gotten on radio and I was playing at like a lot of the big clubs in Sydney. I guess I would say to myself, because I'm harsh on myself, I was on a bit of a high horse. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm the man, that type of thing. And then I had like a bit of an ego, and I think everyone has an ego in this industry. I also think it's important to have like a healthy amount of ego, especially if you can back it up. I think, it's important to celebrate your wins, whether
you need to
they're
know
big
what
or
you're
small.
good at.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to, what was the question again? So I was going on a tangent. Oh, the most unexpected lesson. I entered my first DJ battle proper DJ battle in 2017. And there were a few things that went wrong and like I just didn't do too well. And I knew like deep down, like I was better than the other guys in my opinion. But on the night I didn't bring it. So I don't really have a right to say that for that specific battle. But I was just really upset. After that, I was like super upset. Like I full cried in my car and like all that shit. I know people are like, oh, it's just a DJ competition, but like that's how much it like meant to me. Yeah,
of course.
And I remember something similar happened like 2 years prior to that, or 3 years prior to that. Again, I just didn't like have the prep that I needed. And yeah, that was a really good lesson for me. It definitely brought me back down to earth and like sort of I think the biggest takeout for me was to always be a student. I'm always trying to get better, always trying to level up and learn new things.
Yeah, I love that about you. I think in terms of like growth, no matter what your trajectory is, like if you are the student for life, you're going to accelerate faster than anyone
100%.
else.
And like, I don't know, I might get a little judged for this, but for me, I like to improve like every year, or like I'll, compare myself to like how I was at this stage, like last year. And I'm like, okay, what have I done? And I've started to just implement this mindset just for my own growth.
No one's going to judge you for that. I think that's a very important attribute.
Yeah, I just think other people should try to implement that. It would be good, just like for whatever culture or scene you're trying to bring up. It'll just keep the standard really high.
Yeah,
I think sometimes when like, especially with DJing, it's such a saturated scene. I feel like people get into it for, I'm not going to say the wrong reasons. Everyone has a reason, and who am I to sort of gatekeep that? But yeah, just because for some people it's their bread and butter, and for like, I guess you could say for someone to come in and cheapen the art form, that's where the issue arises, and they don't understand that. But in my opinion, that's because it doesn't really mean that much.
Yeah. Okay. I actually don't have that sort of, because I'm not in the industry, but I don't have that knowledge. This is interesting information to me. But how does someone, like say a new DJ or a new generation of DJs come into the community of DJing and music and cheapen the art form?
How? I think like one of the easiest examples, like, well, it's not even these days, it's always kind of been a thing, but more at a higher level, you'll see like, you know, like say Paris Hilton, she just started DJing, like, since when is she a DJ type of thing, you know? So I think that sort of translated over to like a few influences. And just like you can tell when people aren't really like about it, you know, and I've seen it. I'm not going to like call out any names or anything like that. I'm not
canceling anyone.
Yeah, no, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to kind of just, you know, talk about myself. But they don't really kind of put in their hours, and then when you kind of go and see them perform, it translates and you can tell.
Yeah. Do you would you get offended if someone says that all DJs do is press play when they get to the decks? Do you get that? Do you get?
Oh, I used to get like a little cut about it, but like it's just I don't really care. You know, like.
And it's a bit of ignorance here. So what sort
depends on it depends. Sorry, it depends on who it comes from. Yeah, if it's like a random, like whatever.
Yeah. What sort of work? Just so those people that think that DJs just press play when they go behind the decks. What sort of work do you do in prep for an event?
Prep. We have to like keep up to date with music, curate. You know, each set. Not all DJs curate each sets, but just there's a lot of thought that goes into it, especially if you're DJing at a lot of different parties and stuff like that, especially if you're doing private events, you know, if you're outsourcing the audio, blah, 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 you got to schedule and just like deal with clients if you're doing a lot of corporates, and just the back and forth. Like for me, it's like mentally draining. And I think as an artist, that's where I sort of, I've always sort of struggled, is just like more on the admin and clerical side of things. Yeah. Just forever trying to.
That's true. I think that's part of all businesses.
Yeah. That and 100%. Like, you know, separating the business from the artistry, that can be, and especially with music business, it's not so linear to like, you know, your normal, I guess, type of business. It's not just like a straight transaction. Well, it can be, but yeah. I could.
There's creativity and color that you need to put into like.
For sure. And just like the energy levels, you know, like if you've got things going on, you've still kind of got to get up there and like perform for 1,000 people.
Right.
With a smile on your face.
Oh my God, I completely
you know, people don't
that.
think about those things, like we're humans too. So like, you know, if you're having like personal things or things in that regard, the late nights, missing out on a lot of special occasions. I'm sure a lot of other DJs and performers that, you know, work most weekends can relate to that. And sometimes you can even stop getting invited from a lot of things, you know, because they'll be like, oh, you know, he's just DJing on the weekend.
Yeah.
But I still appreciate an invite. Like I've definitely changed my mindset, you know, like, if you invite me, I'll, you know, make way for that as long as it's like enough time. Whereas I think early in my career, I was just trying to just hustle. So I'd always just be like, no, sorry, busy. So
don't worry, I'll invite you.
Thank you.
To my events. Okay, so there's a lot that you've done in the last 15 years. The more I say that, the more old I feel like you sound.
Get out of here.
All right?
Oh my God.
15 years of a career trajectory in music. That's a long time. Talk to me about some of your biggest milestones so far.
I would have to say winning DMC last year was definitely probably one of the biggest. Just for many reasons. I think just it was so unexpected, and it just sort of not fell in my lap, but it was just there, and I won it. You know, I was like, oh, maybe if I come like second or third,
you're being nonchalant.
Sorry,
it just fell in my lap.
That's what it was. Like I didn't really put too much thought into like my first entry video because I didn't have much time, so I was like, I'm going to do the stuff from all the cultural weddings I've done and like half club stuff. So half cultural, half club. Good. I just put it together and I was like, oh, cool. This is crazy. Like I was processing for the longest time.
Do you think that amalgamation made you stand out? Like the mix between the culture and the club stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's why I took it out last year, because my music selection was, it was different. You know, it wasn't just like I did have some club stuff, but I just had some different things there too. That's why also when I won it, I wasn't sure. Like I was like, oh, I don't know if like what the reaction is behind it. So it was all and then going to Paris and representing Australia, it was just that was just insane. Yeah, just meeting all my heroes all in one place, and it's just like a few days of networking and just like cool parties. Yeah, still like surreal to think that that happened. And to win the first one ever for Australia.
That's
So
huge.
yeah, it is really cool.
I don't actually process how big of a deal this is until like I've heard it from you saying it just then. That's
Oh, thanks.
congratulations.
I appreciate it.
So the DMC was definitely one of your biggest milestones.
I would say so, definitely, yeah.
Now let's go back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Another milestone in your career.
Another milestone. I think overall representing India in rugby league was also a huge one because I had just won the nationals, and then I was sort of always in talks with a few boys from the organization, like I think from a year or two ago, but it just kind of didn't like work out because they're still trying to get that project off the ground. But yeah, being selected for that and going to camp for a week up in Brizzy, like a week after, actually it was a week before I was meant to go to Paris.
Right.
So like I was in Brizzy for a week for footy.
This all happened around the same.
Yeah, so it is all like really stressful. So like I was processing all this stuff, right? Yeah, it was
I'm the best at everything that I do.
Oh my god! No. I mean, it was like that experience in itself was just so like cool and unique. Because before any of this music stuff, when I was like a kid, all I wanted to do is just play footy. So to kind of tick off two sort of childhood like things in like a space of a few weeks was just like
crazy.
Pretty mental.
2024 was your year.
Yeah,
hopefully one of the years.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always, trying to do more and just be the best I can be. But yeah, that would definitely be kind of on par, I would say. I mean, I didn't get a whole deal of minutes there, but it was still like the whole experience, just meeting the boys. That was just a crazy journey on its own. And it just all happened at once, and it was something that I didn't really get to talk about. So it's good to come up. Yeah, it's cool to like kind of come up here and chat about those things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So just in a span of like 2-3 weeks, you were representing India in the rugby league and then Australia in Paris.
Yeah.
What?
It was so
crazy. 1 in 4 and 1 in music.
Yeah, like I told my parents and they're like, bro, what the hell?
What are you doing? That's crazy.
So.
Your parents proud of you?
Yeah.
Have they always supported the journey of music that you were on?
I think at first they were a bit doubtful, but then they sort of saw that I was pretty diligent with what I did and I was just dedicated, and they knew that that's what I wanted to do. I probably didn't know that deep down, but my dad's like, oh, go get an office job or get a trade. But
you know what? Honestly, all the creatives that have come on the pod, the expectations from parents have always been, accounting, doctor, lawyer, like the traditional three things that constitute as success for a brown person.
100%.
Then eventually they see you being passionate and diligent about your creative career, and then they support you. You say the same about your situation?
Yeah, I just... I think like my parents got to know me a bit better, like my character, and like I was just doing all this stuff and just trying to focus and not like muck around too much. And yeah, it was just all just happened like really fast. But I think like as I sort of just trying to think of a good way to word it, but as I sort of like hit like each, whether it be a small milestone or like a big milestone, I think that just gave them the confidence to see like I've been able to do it consistently and, take care of my family as well and just the people. Yeah, exactly. And just to like where I am now compared to like where I started, I think they were just like thinking it was an excuse to like go clubbing or party or whatever the case may be, So, yeah.
Do you feel like being a DJ, do you think that's a career that's often misunderstood?
Yeah, 100%. People... they'll either negatively or positively sort of have an opinion on it.
What are some of the stereotypes?
What are some of the stereotypes? I guess like party boy, like, yeah, I get it. It is a big part of what we do. But sometimes, yeah, being in the club till like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., it does get very exhausting after like so many years of doing it.
Yeah.
I still love it. I enjoy it. Just that and... yeah, I guess the whole thing around like people, I guess they kind of don't consider it a serious career. But like I'm making all right living off it, I guess. Like I'm pretty content, you know, but it is like one of those industries you always have to sort of be hustling for yourself, like kind of like any business. And I think that's what sort of put me into the business mindset sort of early on. It sort of gave me that confidence, like, and I think that's why I've never sort of, it's been a bit tricky, like when it comes to having a day job.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but you know, I've got DJing. So. But it is also one of those things, I'm aware it does have a bit of an expiry in a certain sense, but there's always different avenues where you can innovate and, you know, push the boundary. And
that's exactly where we were heading to next. So obviously there's so much that you're involved in, like you just played rugby for India.
Yeah.
And there's so much that you're doing. Now, is there something that you know that you might be able to fall back on after, say, like there might come a point, I'm not saying this will happen, where you're done with DJing? Is there something that you'd lay back on?
I don't think I have like had these conversations with myself, just to like, you know, I always try to do a bit of a reality check-in with myself. I don't think I'll ever be done with DJing. It'll always be kind of up there as one of those things that, you know, I want to leave a bit of a legacy behind. But yeah, I do have a career during the day. My background's in like social work type of stuff and like education.
How good.
And have did a bit
There's
of stuff.
So much, honestly, I just can't believe how much you do.
I just try to do fun jobs, to be honest. I like to do fun jobs. It just makes the day go by like easier. Because I've done a few shit jobs too, and it's just like, oh, this isn't me, you know, and you're just kind of there. And I'm like, nah, I'm meant for more than this. And that in itself was like a realization, like doing like the hard yakka early on. I'm like, I don't really want to go back to that. Yeah. I mean, I will if I have to. But like if I'm able to make a career out of something that's not so traditional and push that forward, I think that's just as important. And that kind of like touches back onto, you know, kind of proving that to our parents, like, hey, yes, you know, you can make a career in this. That's how like I, you know, work with young people just to help them realize their dream. And big shout out to Street Uni. You know, they provide a cool platform for a lot of young people. And then they were also one of the ones that sort of helped me early on, just giving me a space to play music and then, you know, just build from there. That's
amazing. Now, going back to you being, honestly, I had no idea you were South Asian. So being a South Asian DJ, how does it feel to be able to do your craft in an area that's often underrepresented?
I think at the start for me, it was people are like, oh, you know, this guy's Indian. Like, what does he sort of know about like music? That's kind of like the perception I was getting for people, because I had like my full government name on Facebook, right? And then I'd get put forward for parties, and then like, I don't know, like maybe I could be wrong, maybe I'm digging too deep, but no one would like sort of give me a second look type of thing. And I did an experiment. I was like, you know what? Let me change my name. Not change it, but I'll just
cut it.
I'll see what happens if it's just DPAK.
Yeah.
And then like the bookings started coming in left, right, and center. I'm like, nah, this is fucking crazy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe I got better. I don't know what it was, but I thought that was pretty like wild. I could be wrong, you know, I don't know. But when I did like a bit of an experiment, I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Do you feel
like... Which was a bit... Sorry.
That's okay, go on.
Yeah, I just thought that was a bit of a shame or whatever, you know. But then I got to know a few DJs from Melbourne, and the representation on the hip-hop scene there was like huge. So they really inspired me. So big shout out to like a lot of the brown DJs down there holding it down for the community. And just like that representation, you know, I always like touch back on that. I think that's just super important for me. I was a bit of a losty. I didn't know like which direction to go. So then like kind of when you meet certain people, it gives you that drive, it gives you that hunger.
And it also shows you like your dream can happen. Like it just gives you some tangible pathway to actually believe in your dreams. Like you've seen someone else do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for me also, because like, so my dad is Indian, like 3 or 4 generations in Fiji, and my mum is native Fijian, so I look more islander. So then when I meet Indians, they're like, oh, you're not you know, you're not Indian. And then when I meet Islanders and they're just like, they give me shit because my name or whatever, you know, it's like, so I'm like, well, screw both of you guys. I'm just kind of gonna, you know, stay.
I'm just gonna float.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like for a while, like when I was sort of younger, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna stay in my lane, but I'm still proud of who I am. And I'll still, you know, do like cultural events and gigs when I'm invited to, or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes people just don't know, like that can also be the thing. So you're not kind of in those spaces.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, and I think everyone sort of has a different journey around that. I can't speak for everyone else, but it wasn't always all bad, you know. Like a lot of people are like, oh, cool, I didn't know like you were Indian. Like that's so dope. Like, I got booked for a party not too long ago, and yeah, he didn't even know. He booked me for like an R&B set. I'm like, oh, I can play like Indian and Punjabi music as well. You know what I mean? So
that is amazing.
Yeah, because there was like a while where I did a lot of like Bollywood type of parties, and then like, yeah, I got more into the club scene. So then those people sort of got older and like, you know, just change.
Yeah,
the scene.
You mentioned Melbourne creatives that are holding it down, you know, for the culture down there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Melbourne has a more supportive creative culture than Sydney?
Just because I'm not from there, it's hard for me to say, but the friends that I've made down there, they've always been super supportive of me. They all came down to my competition last year. There's always been like a Sydney-Melbourne rivalry, so winning in Melbourne as a Sydney boy was a huge deal, like a very big deal, just because I know the history. And yeah, more on the like battle scene, but just in general, you know, the Sydney-Melbourne rivalry. But yeah, I can say they've been very supportive of me. Yeah, and I can see that they're supportive of each other as well. From what I see, like you know, outside in, I think they are.
Do you feel like your creative career would have accelerated if you're in Melbourne, or you feel like there's not much of a difference?
I don't know. It's a hard one to sort of comment on. I think just because how a lot of things happened for me, I never really planned for stuff. I just sort of, I know this is going to be a bit cliche, and I'm not trying to be nonchalant, but I was just like, I just had to,
pops into your lap.
For me, it was just more like my number one priority has always been my family, my mom. So taking care of them, and then everything else is just sort of secondary to that. That's how when I say like, you know, things just sort of happened. If an opportunity is there, I'll go for it. But now I'm trying to get better with like goal setting and just setting myself like a vision, because then I think it'll give me a stronger roadmap and more direction in life with like whatever it is that I want to do.
Love that. Globally, do you feel like there are any South Asian creators in the music industry that you aspire to be?
There's like so many. I'm just trying to think of who, but I know like in different cities there's like different stuff happening, because I used to work for an airline, so that gave me the opportunity to like
be in how many different industries you have been part
I get
of.
bodies, you know. I'm kidding.
What's your star sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Okay, no, I don't actually know anything about Taurus.
Taurus,
sorry.
We're the best. Yeah, like in different cities, like I went to Dubai and different parts of Asia, and like there were like little collectives doing their thing. But I think in the last few years, you know, like a lot of global sounds, it's been celebrated more in the club scene, like club culture. So it's been so cool to see all these DJs and producers like come out and do their thing. Locally, I can, you know, there's El Fresh. He's been doing it like for a minute now, you know. I actually met him at Street Uni, so big shout out to him. The boys at Chor Bazaar as well.
That's Melbourne based?
I know they're Sydney boys, but I think there's one or two from Melbourne, like Canberra. I'm actually doing a gig for them this Saturday at Ace Hotel, so that'll be pretty cool.
Great.
They're just trying to push that sound forward, you know, like they're more hip hop, but they still have like a lot of Indian influence. So, and then there's a few DJs from like America and UK that are like doing their thing as well. Like for example, you know when Jay Sean was doing like more Indian music, like early 2000s, late 90s.
Yep.
I'm very like influenced.
Bangers, honestly.
Yeah, and I
Still
feel
got his music on.
yeah, I feel like
playlists.
those guys in that era in the UK, they sort of they really kind of paved the way in a way. And then I don't know, there wasn't too much happening, but now there's just been like, you know, like how there's like Latin music, like Islander music, whatever the case may be. But then you don't really hear too much like Indian music at the club, you know. But there are like a few commercial
That's so
bangers
true.
if you think about it. But now I think more DJs are playing it, you know, with like a few of the edits that have sort of gone viral and things like that. If you sort of think about it, but it's still not there. It's not fully in the mainstream. You won't find it at like your normal clubs, you know. Like,
that's right.
Like when you play like say Gasolina or like Let's Do It Again, like people will be receptive to that, you know. For us, it's just kind of
You've
like
got the one classic.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Literally.
Punjabi MC, yeah.
That's the
but like,
only song that you hear, and then everyone collectively goes wild, and they do the signature like little tiny little light bulb step.
I won't lie, people have ruined that song for me. Oh my god, I'm happy to play the non-Jay-Z version. Nah, but like there's so much good Indian music that's influenced by Indian music, but people don't even realize that.
Yeah.
One of the biggest is the Diwali rhythm. I don't know if you know about that. You know, like Get Busy by Sean Paul. You know that beat in the back? Yeah, so that was inspired by like Indian dance music, if you look into it. And a lot of big records have sampled that.
No way.
Yeah, Google Diwali rhythm and you'll see it'll come up.
That's crazy. And like I don't know if you're aware, but like a lot of the new songs that are coming out, have you heard like the collaborations with Ed Sheeran and like Diljit and Karan Aujla?
Oh, true. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so going back to what you were saying, like that merging of like the Western.
It's so good to see,
worlds. It's happening now. So maybe like hopefully eventually the only song that plays that's South Asian in clubs isn't just Mondia Bachgeri.
Yeah, even the other song that like was a huge hit last year, that rapper from the States. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's I think Big Dog or yeah, you know who I'm talking about. I forgot his name. I'm so bad with names.
Wait, it's ringing a bell.
Wait a minute. Da 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 da. Da. You know that's him? Yeah. I'm so bad. Yeah.
It's like it's coming to
me.
Yeah, you're right.
Like him, you know, MIA Sri Lanka, and she's been doing her thing for a minute as well. I'm trying to think, like even Diana King. You know the song from Bad Boys? There's a song in Bad Boys. Anyway, she has like Indian. Tyler is like probably the latest example.
Is she Indian?
Yeah, so she's from South Africa.
Ah.
So I think one of her parents is of Indian descent.
No way.
There's Nicki Minaj as well. She's from the Caribbean. There's a lot of like Caribbean artists that have Indian heritage, and people just don't know about it.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. We're actually coming towards the end of the pod, DPAK. So we are very happy that you have joined us today.
Thank you for having me.
But we would love to know what is next in DJ DPAK's world.
I'm going to still continue to compete in DMC and other comps. I eventually want to make my own music. That's a bit like later on. But potentially like my own radio show would be cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or like my own night or like my own event. I'm just kind of trying to think outside the box a little bit, you know, just see what I can do differently to other people. There's just so many things like already happening, but I just got to kind of execute at this point, I reckon.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, make a few T-shirts like this one here.
I was looking at that. That looks great.
Yeah. Shout out to Fresh Tees. They do the print club once a month. They also lace me up. So yeah, it was just I did my drawings because I like to draw, and then they just run us through the process of screen printing. I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
That's amazing.
So I thought I'd wear it.
There's so many different avenues that you can go into, DPAK. You've done so much in your life. So I can guarantee anything that you put your heart to, you will achieve great things in. So good luck.
Thank you.
Before we wrap this up, you obviously mentor students with Street University. For someone that might be looking at you right now as maybe a South Asian that is aspiring to be a creative in your field, what's some advice that you'd give to them?
Feel free to reach out to me. I'm always willing to reply to people and just have a chat. Just give them like a bit of guidance. I've been doing that with a few people that have hit me up. And just most importantly, if you want to pursue something, just do it. Yeah, that's the best advice. Just do it, you know.
If you want to pursue something, Nike. Just do it.
Yeah, just cut out the noise and just don't listen to your parents. They'll probably hate me for this, but just do it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't listen to my parents. I turned out all right.
Turned out all right.
Yeah, convinced them as well. So
You're the most nonchalant person we've had on the show.
Oh my God. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
It's just
thing.
been like, oh, I just won the DMC Championship. It just fell
Not
on my
at
lap.
all. I didn't say that.
Piece of cake.
No.
No, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you all for watching.
Thanks for having a chat. Appreciate it. Peace.
Stars on